Estimado señor Toastmaster, gracias por la introducción. Queridos miembros, buenas tardes. Gracias por la oportunidad. I thought I will shock everybody by starting my speech in Spanish. After all, my speech is about culture shock, and language is an important element of culture. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and guests, greetings. This cupcake represents different things to different people. But to me, this represents America. America is this beautiful frosted cupcake with sprinkles on it. The colorful sprinkles symbolize the diversity we celebrate in America in terms of ethnicities, religions, languages, and people. This captures the essence of American culture. But what exactly is American culture? It is the system of behavior patterns characteristic of American society. For a long time, America has been a bastion of opportunities. Immigrants from all over the globe come to this citadel of possibilities in hopes of scripting their own Cinderella story. When immigrants come to America for the first time, they may experience a state of personal disorientation. This disorientation is called culture shock. When I came to America in 2007, I experienced culture shock to a certain extent, even though I was prepared for it. Like most new immigrants, I went through culture shock in 3 phases. The first phase is called the initial excitement phase. It's also called as the honeymoon phase. I saw everything in a romantic light, marked by various observations and discoveries. It was all fascinating and exciting, especially the food. That's because I love food. What struck me most was the large-sized beverages Americans consumed. My initial thought was, Americans must have highly evolved bladders. This is just one example. My rendezvous with American culture continued day after day. For the first couple of weeks, I was like a kid in a candy store, smitten by everything I saw around me. It was exciting. After a couple of weeks, the novelty started to wear off, and I started to get homesick. That's when I waltzed into phase 2. Phase 2 is the irritability phase. Everything seems so different. That makes it difficult. The work culture, the organizational culture, the social culture, etc. Talking about language barriers, the only time I experienced language barrier was when I was conversing with this charming southern lady in Tennessee. A few minutes into the conversation, she told me she had a difficult time understanding my accent. I was a little upset. I told my American friend about that, and she assured me, "Oh honey, don't worry, Southerners have a difficult time understanding the rest of America. So you're fine." That was indeed reassuring. Now, dating culture. This was an eye-opener to me, because in India, we don't date, we directly get married. The dating thing was totally foreign to me. One Valentine's Day, I was all alone without a date. What do Americans do to find a date? Go to Craigslist. That's what I did. My experiences on Craigslist took my culture shock to a whole new level. I will save my Craigslist adventures for a later speech, I promise. And small things like metrics seemed confusing. Miles instead of kilometers, pounds instead of kilograms, Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. It sounds simple, but it was confusing. I had a lot of difficulty with coins. How much is a dime? How much is a nickel? Why is a nickel larger than a dime? Why don't they have numbers on it? Would it kill the Treasury Department to have numbers on them? And I got to a point where if I had to give change to the cashier, all I did was I took all the change I had and I said, "You take whatever you want and give me the rest back." It seems funny now, but it was frustrating back then. I had this sudden feeling of being an outsider, not knowing the rules and other things that everyone else took for granted. But gradually, it all subsided and I moved to the third phase. The third phase is the gradual adaptation phase. I started adapting. One thing that helped me most was keeping an open mind and not perceiving anything different as being wrong. It is different, but it's not wrong. What bothered me most was I could never get a real answer from an American. I asked my American coworker how his weekend was. He says, "It was awesome, it was terrific." He gives the same answer even if his weekend wasn't awesome and terrific. My initial opinion was, all Americans are fake and contrived, like the judges on American Idol. But are they fake and contrived? No, they are not. It is just their culture. They think it is very important to project that happy and positive vibe all the time. Just like Joe Biden during the vice presidential debate. And oftentimes they mean something, but they say something. I have a couple of examples. Let's say your American manager says, I'll have to think about it. Do you know what he means? He means, I already thought about it, and the answer is, hell no! And let's say you're wearing a cute outfit, and your American friend compliments you by telling, girl, your outfit is interesting. Do you know what she means? She means your outfit is hideous. You have to downgrade everything a couple of notches. But why do Americans do it? Again, it's all cultural. My culture is more direct, American culture is less direct. That's all. Over the next few months, I was able to overcome my culture shock, and I gained a better insight into American culture. And today I feel very comfortable. My culture shock taught me one thing: don't be opinionated or judgmental. It's different, but it's not wrong. Whether I like it or not, these cultural differences are here to stay. I can't change them, but what I can change is my thinking to see everything in a whole new light. I learned to enjoy myself and make the absolute most of my American cultural experience. Being proud of my Indian heritage, I decided to embrace American culture and absorb as much as I can. For now, I'm happy being this little sprinkle sitting on this cupcake and contributing to the cultural diversity in America. As they say in the South, America, y'all.